Hey, hope you're doing well. So obviously pickleball has been huge over the last like 6, 8, 10 months or so. I haven't really said anything about it online yet, and I wanted to give some thoughts now because just recently some videos have come out on another YouTube channel featuring me, and let me show you where those are. This is the channel here. It's called Briones Pickleball. Jordan Briones is an awesome coach. And when I was in Indian Wells this past March, he gave me some coaching and we did some point play. So this video right here is the coaching that we did together if you want to see me learn pickleball for the first time. And then here is he and I teaming up against 2, 4, 5 pickleball players. And it was my first time playing real pickleball doubles. So here's my honest thoughts. Now I've got three things that I think pickleball does really, really well in my experience. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not switching and why, to be honest with you, I haven't picked up a pickleball paddle since March when I was with Jordan in the desert in Indian Wells. So three things here that I think pickleball is doing especially well and is really contributing to its rise and contributing to a lot of people adopting the sport. Number one is the sense of community and inclusivity in pickleball and friendliness and like, oh, just come in and play is really apparent and I think a huge plus. And something that for I think a lot of tennis players is kind of a breath of fresh air, how friendly and welcoming and opening it is. So like my experience, I did this coaching with Jordan. We finished like an hour or so of training and then he texted like a friend of a friend to get a phone number of somebody. He's from Arizona. So he got the phone number of somebody in our area in the California desert, called them cold, had never talked to this person before, and was like, "Hey, hey, my name's Jordan. I'm like a 5-0 player. Jordan's played some like semi-professional pickleball. Hey, I'm like a 5-0 player, and I'm here with somebody else, and we're looking to get some doubles. Here's the neighborhood I'm in." 20 minutes later, 2, 4, 5 guys showed up. This is at like 4 o'clock on a work day. I think it was on like a Friday or a Thursday or something like that. No, it was like a Monday. Yeah. Or maybe it was Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. Anyway, it was a work day, like 4 p.m. And he just calls somebody. And 20 minutes later, 2, 4, 5 players show up and we're like, hey, let's play. And I've been around enough pickleball courts now that I've seen this type of thing. Tennis just doesn't have this much friendly. I love tennis and I love tennis people. And, I've been part of the tennis community for decades. But there's just something more open and inclusive about the pickleball community. And I think that really is part of the reason why it's blowing up so much. Okay, number two. So I played doubles with these two like really good experienced players on the other side, and my partner was the best player on the court. I was clearly the weakest player on the court. I'm carrying over a lot of skills from tennis. Jordan did a great job teaching me for an hour. But this is my first like real doubles competition. And while I was able to mostly keep up, I was definitely the weakest player on the court. And while we were playing, we probably played 2 hours, solid 2 hours of doubles play. And it became apparent to me that rather than picking on me, there are a lot of instances where, especially when I was playing with Jordan, our opponents would get kind of an easy-ish shot. Like they would get an opportunity where they could probably finish the point. And when there was equal opportunity to either go at me or at Jordan, they would go at Jordan. And and in the moment, like I'm a lot of the tactics and strategy like carries over from tennis doubles, not 100%, but a lot of it. And so I could just feel, I could sense it like, wait, that doesn't quite check out. That doesn't quite add up or make sense like tactically. Why are they doing that? And then I noticed it was kind of a pattern. And I asked Jordan about it later, and he said, "Oh yeah, like that totally makes sense. They wanted to make sure I got a lot of practice because I was the strongest player on the court, and they wanted to make sure that I got the ball a lot so that it was like, worth my time." And that was like when I heard that, it was such a 180 for me because when you play tennis, the culture around tennis is you're trying to, if you're competitive, which this was, like we were having a good time, but we were all very competitive. Like everybody was trying to win, but they didn't want me to feel singled out and like picked on, and they wanted to make sure that Jordan had a good time. Again, we've all met each other for the first time. And so these two strangers were playing a lot of balls at Jordan to make sure that he got some good practice and he got some good training. And that's, in my experience, kind of the opposite of tennis culture, where it's like, where's the weak player? And let's just pound the weak player. And in full transparency, if I was playing a league match or a tournament match, that's exactly what I would do. But in this instance, and I know this wasn't like a real match, and we were all kind of playing for practice and for fun, but it really struck me, and I feel like this is just kind of like a little bit of, again, that little bit of different vibe or attitude between the community aspects of tennis and pickleball. They were much more equitable, I guess. Not so much that they wanted to spread the balls 50-50 between myself and the pro, but they wanted to make sure the pro got some good training and practice. And I don't think tennis, to be honest, again, I'm not trying to throw tennis under the bus here. I don't see that happening in the same, like everything else is the same, but it's all tennis on a tennis court. Anyway, I just thought that was really cool that they had that awareness and they had that attitude. Okay, so I've got one other quick one, and I'm just gonna throw it in there like real fast. My experience being in the tennis industry. So I'm working with Jordan. I'm helping him with like content and business development and stuff like that. And maybe it's just because pickleball is really exploding recently, but he's getting unbelievable opportunities just getting thrown at him left, right, and center. And he's only been doing this for like a year or two. And the sport's pretty new. It's not super big yet. Obviously, relatively speaking, it's grown a lot. But compared to tennis, it's not nearly as big as tennis. And I'm seeing him get opportunities like from all over the place, from media people, from business owners, from paddle, manufacturers to retailers. And it's just like, and I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful or that I'm complaining, but over 12 years of doing what I'm doing in tennis and being towards the top of like the online instructional space, he's had more opportunities in the last 12 months than I have in the last 10 years, to be totally honest. If anything, I feel like there's been significant friction for me because tennis is just such an older game. There's such like an establishment kind of control over the media, over the top players, over the manufacturers and the retail. There's so many agreements and contracts and like things in place that keep everything feeling very restricted. I'm talking about from the inside, okay? This is my feeling on the inside of the game. And inside of pickleball is totally different. It's very opening. It's very open. It's very like, how can we rise like the tide for everybody? And that's not the feeling on the inside of tennis. So those are three things that, in my experience, pickleball is totally nailing it. Like they're totally off on the right foot, and I think making it very easy for people to get involved, both on the inside and on the outside. Now, here's the thing: I haven't picked up a pickleball paddle. I have plenty of opportunities, but I haven't in over 3 months. Not since this day, actually. I haven't touched a pickleball since this day. And the reality is, I still love tennis, and like I have zero temptation to leave tennis because the physical challenge of it still attracts me really strongly. Pickleball is no question about it, a lot easier. I did the calculation. The doubles court in tennis is more than 3 times bigger. It's like 3.5 times bigger the doubles court in pickleball. So even in doubles, where people view tennis doubles as like, oh, we play doubles because I don't want to run so much. Well, at high levels of tennis, there's a huge amount of intensity and effort and energy and scrambling around that goes into doubles tennis. And pickleball is great. I had a great time. I had a lot of fun. But the challenge of tennis still is keeping me totally engaged and interested. I have no interest in going to pickleball. Maybe down the road, when I've kind of used up the miles in the tank, I think I'll definitely be interested. But right now, I'm just really not. So down the road, possibly, Pickleball, it's interesting in pickleball, singles isn't really a thing. It's like all doubles. Pickleball singles is a much better workout than doubles is, but people don't really play singles in pickleball. It's almost all doubles. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Pickleball will always be there. I kind of feel similarly to pickleball as I do golf, to be honest, where it's like I love golf, and in the past I've spent a lot of time with golf, and I really enjoy it a lot. But what while I'm still in a place physically where I feel like I have a lot to give, I still have a lot of miles left on my engine. I've still got a lot of miles left on my knees and my feet. I can't leave tennis. I still love it. I love the physical challenge. I love the mental challenge. I love the solo psychological challenge of tennis. Just not as much of that in pickleball because there's just not much singles. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, but I just thought I'd make a quick video, let you all know what my thoughts were and my experience and how I think it compares to tennis. So hopefully something there was interesting. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.